Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to our first launch of 2025.
Yes. You had to check that.
I don't know what day of the week it is, I don't know what year it is. It's great to have your company. I'm Dave, this is Laura, and we're here at Carnation Crafts TV with a very special launch, the first one of the year. Happy New Year.
And you?
Happy New Year to you. Great to know that you're watching us. Great to know that you're back with us as well. And if you want to start the year on a high, what better than our brand new collection today from Carnation Crafts? This is Petals and Threads. It's absolutely beautiful. If you love your florals, you're going to be in your element with this collection today. You've got the first, obviously the main dye here is this gorgeous Doily dye selection with the flowers as well. You've got your roses, you've got your hydrangeas there as well, or your foliage too. And it's all about dimension with this. You've got rounded flowers, you've got angular flowers, so you've got a soft rounded look, you've got a very dramatic pointed look, mix those together and you've got a great composition of your florals. You really have.
I love the colourways in this as well. It's very calm and soothing colourways that they've put in this, and you'll see that with the sentiments as well. But there's just this whole kit just goes together so well. Everything intertwines with this and it is just absolutely stunning. We've got so many samples to show you. The design team, you can tell, I've had such a ball with this and it is absolutely stunning.
Taz loves it, Laura loves it, I love it, you love it as well, because already since we actually made this available to you on our website, 30% of the entire stock has gone before we even bring it to you live on Carnation Crafts TV. The elongated apertures down here, these are really, really sweet. You'll see on the boards how these work in just a second. You've got a straight set and you've also got a slightly curved set there as well. Over here you've got your pail, you've got your teapot, and you've also got your vase to put your flowers in, of course, as well. Over here, this is very, very clever. If I just show you, if I drop this into the picture, you'll get an idea of what this will do. This is like a little tuck-in. So you've got the leaves, you've got rounded leaves and pointed leaves, but you can lift them up. They stay attached to the actual main base. So you can lift them and then tuck flowers underneath them, which is really, really beautiful and very, very different. Love that. And then over here, you've got your sentiments as well. Sent with happiness, sent with love. And the bottom sentiment there is, you are wonderful. The whole thing is just $109.99, and as I said before, 30% of the stock went before we came on air with this today. 250101 is your product code, $109.99. Clear Pay and PayPal Pay in 3 is available if you want to spread the cost interest free, but just pop it in your basket and check out today's. We'll say hello to you as we go through the show, of course, as well, but don't miss out on this one, the first collection of 2025. And Laura's got the balls to show you exactly what the dyes will do and how many you've got. There's loads here. Look at the doilies.
Yeah, they are absolutely stunning, aren't they? And such a big size. So you could use this as your card base if you want to equally matte and layer them up. You've got the smaller ones as well, so you could use these as doilies onto your projects, and they just work effortlessly with the flowers. Like Dave said, you've already got the curvature in the florals, so they just fit in these absolutely perfectly. And you can see even in there you've got so many layers to build in. And you've also got the vignettes for these as well, and that's what it's a bit hard to see on you, but you've got shading going around the doilies, around the edges, so even for them you've got the vignettes for.
Brilliant. That's the artwork, which is free to print off on our website. I'll go into that after we've looked at the boards, actually.
And then look at that.
Oh, wow.
I don't need to say anything.
No,
it is just
everything.
Yeah, it is absolutely stunning. So you can see you've got stunning curvature here. Now the doily is that circle, but obviously print that out and cut it with your mirrored vignette, and you've got it going either way. So you could make a wreath if you want to. You could have it going round the florals, and again, same with the florals. You could have them going other ways as well. But you can see you've got your decoupage layers on there as well to build up, and they are just absolutely stunning, aren't they?
Beautiful. And you've got roses, hydrangeas. Now, anyone know what that flower is there?
That's why I'm laughing. Charles is saying, name the flowers, Laura. Name them. It's a flower 1, flower 2, flower 3.
Yeah, but they're beautiful.
Yeah, so if anybody knows, let me and Dave know, because we don't know what this flower is called.
No.
I know you've got your rose, you've got your 2 different roses and your hydrangeas, but we don't know what this one.
I stupidly have left my phone next door.
Oh, have you?
So yeah. I've not got my phone.
Taz will get it.
Maybe Taz will get it for me.
Taz will get it. Yeah, she's fine. She'll get it.
I was busy talking to the boss and forgot to ring the phone in. Never mind.
Right, then we've got our, now these I love. And what I really like about these is you've got like the teapot, but you've also got the top bit as well. So you can place this next to it. So if you want the florals inside, you could pop that down on the bottom, or equally you could pop that in there on top, and then you could have the florals set around it. So
You could.
different ways that you can use these. And then you've also got, it's almost like one of those scented sticks for
Yeah,
me, that you
like
can
a
pop
diffuser.
it. Yeah, so you can pop those in, have the flowers going around them. Equally pop the flowers in here as well. And I love the fact you've got the little cork.
The other flower, news just
Yeah.
in,
Oh, wait there.
gerbera. Of course it is. It's hydrangea, rose, gerbera. There you go. That's what they are.
There you go. I would not have got that in a million years. That was my million pound question. I'd have been going home with nothing. Now these
I love this.
proud leaves. Now these are the ones Dave was saying is like a tuck in. These are stunning. So you're going to run these through your die cutting machine, and this is what you're going to be left with. And you can see they stay in the card. So you could emboss these. You can shape these like this. They will stay in there, and then if you want to, you can pop your flowers in here.
You can have a
could
whole
them
background of that, couldn't you, going across?
Yeah, so you can just you can run that through, and then just pull your die out, pop it next to it. You could make the whole background like that if you want to.
You could.
So you've got lots of different ways of using those just by tucking the flowers in or mixing them up in different ways.
Brilliant.
Then we go on to the apertures. Now again, these are absolutely stunning. The apertures will cut in, so you can see you've got your matte layers that will fit on the top as well. So if you want to build them out, you can do that. But equally, you can cut into the card, and then you've got that aperture going through there. So you could pop the flowers in that aperture, and you can have them going either ways. But I love this one. I think it's just something really different, having that curvature. And then our last one is our sentiments. I absolutely adore these. I think every show I have sentiment dies on. I always say I love sentiments. You know, if you do make and sell, you can never have enough sentiments, and these are stunning. You've got scent with love, scent with happiness, and you are wonderful. So like I said, they're like soothing, caring sentiments to go with the colour scheme in those flowers as well. And I love the fact that you've got the different font, so those words really stand out. Equally, if you just want to send somebody wonderful, you can easily snip the top bits off. So happiness, even if you were doing like journaling, scrapbooking, you could easily go in and snip those top bits off. So you've just got the love, happiness, and wonderful. So you can mix these up as well. But that is your complete collection, which is absolutely stunning.
Now, there are hundreds of you watching us right now. Many of you are putting this into your basket and checking out. Remember, ClearPay and PayPal Pay in 3 is there for you if you would like to spread the cost. Otherwise, just paying it on a debit or credit card, $109.99. Now, let me just explain to you the way it works. If you're brand new to us at Carnation, you may not know what I'm about to tell you. If you buy the dies from us, the artwork is free. I know, absolutely unreal. Normally when you buy dies, you die cut something, you then paint it, you cut it, you colour it in with pens or pencils. With Carnation, they give you the opportunity of having professional artwork which you can use in your makes and you can sell absolutely for free. So if you buy the collection today, it's 250101. When you've purchased it, just go to our website and go to the downloads and then free downloads. That's when you'll see the vignettes. All you've got to do is put the name of the collection in to find the artwork. Usually the newest collection is on the top of the page. If it's not there, just put Petals and Threads in, and all the artwork for the doilies, all the artwork for the flowers, the foliage, the teapot and everything else will be there for you, and you can print it off absolutely free of charge. Nick and his team are just geniuses when it comes to artwork, and it's there for you to enjoy. So you get the dies, and Carnation are some of the quickest in the business to get this dispatched to you. As far as I'm aware, the delivery guys come about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So if you purchase now, it will be hand-picked, taken off the shelf, put into your parcel and delivered in the next day or two. Very, very quick delivery. And it's free P&P.
Yeah, normally when we do, because we'll do the shows, I'll do the shows on my own tomorrow, and normally tomorrow I'll get people messaging into the show saying they're waiting for theirs to get delivered today. They are so quick.
And if you're in the States, by the way, watching us in America, you can order this as well. Your P&P will be $4.95. That's all you have to pay for your shipping and handling. If you want to go for, say, the perfect papers, the Petals and Threads perfect papers, that will take your shipping and handling in America up to $14.95. Obviously, there's quite a bit of weight attached to this. But the perfect papers is something I really would recommend that you go for, because obviously the colorways in here have been hand selected to complement the artwork you're going to get with the vignettes. So everything will work beautifully, beautifully well. You've got some that are block printed and some that are Beautiful pattern printed on there as well. So you get a lovely variety. You get flourishes and swirls, but all these colours are going to work with the artwork so well. Let me just show you what some of the design team have done with the finished samples here. This one shows that tuck-in that we talked about, which is pretty unusual. I mean, I'm used to seeing maybe butterflies as tuck-ins with the wings that lift up.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen petals like this, leaves like this before.
No.
It is absolutely stunning, and obviously it does work perfectly, like you can see there, with the florals. But I think it's just something really different, even if you do it just plain, or like you said, Dave, even if you just use it as a background to make a background strip. It is absolutely, I mean, look at that.
I mean, you've got the more angular petals, and you've also got the rounded petals as well. But just tucking those roses underneath the petals, it's like it's giving it a hug.
It does. It just works effortlessly. And when you see it like that, just with creams, whites and pinks, that could be an engagement card, a wedding card. It is absolutely stunning, especially in those colourways.
And look, as you build up those florals, look how dimensional that is. Look how many layers there is on this one. It's beautiful, isn't it?
And you can see just how well this all works together. You can see bringing in the doily, bringing in the vase. They just effortlessly work just as one big collection. I mean, look at that. That is just absolutely stunning.
Barbara Treadwell's done this one, and Barbara's actually used the doily as the main card shape, which of course you can do. You can actually mat and layer it and put it onto a different shape of card, or use it as the actual card base. This next one is done by Sue. Sue Dalrymple has done this one, using one of the smaller doilies as a topper in the middle of the card there, but just gorgeous. I mean, flowers are appropriate for happy occasions. They're appropriate for sad occasions as well. There's your gerbera. Hark at me, the expert, the gerbera. Yeah, Alan Titchmarsh II here. There's your rose in the middle with all those beautiful sprigs coming out. So you've got a soft round flower in the middle, and then quite dramatic prongs of flowers and foliage going out, which is really lovely.
They're so pretty, and I love the fact you've got larger florals in there, but you've got smaller ones as well. So if you just want to use like one floral like that one and build in around it, you can. But then if you want to mix and match and bring them in like this, I mean, that is just absolutely stunning. It's so effortless to make these cards. I mean, we've got so many samples here. The design team, have just gone to town.
There's one of those
apertures.
apertures.
Such a good time making these.
That swirling aperture in the middle is just absolutely gorgeous. It splits the card, it divides the card. Sue Dalrymple's done this one. But if you're wondering how you'd use the straight or the slightly curved apertures, this is a good indication as to how that works. And it's very three-dimensional, as you can see. So again, if you're new to us at Carnation, welcome. If you're coming back to us, welcome back. This is our first collection of 2025, and it's stunning. It really is. And of course, the beautiful thing about Carnation is you don't buy collections just for collection's sake. You buy the collection so that you can use it with previous collections that you've bought, intertwine different designs that you've got in previous collections. Everything works. Nick and his team know what's gone before. They also know what's coming in the future. So they always design with that in mind so that you can mix these with other collections from Carnation that you already own. But as value for money is concerned, who else gives you free artwork? They give you the dies maybe when you buy them, and then they leave you to do your own devices to colour it in however you wish. But with Carnation, they say, okay, you buy the dies from us, $109.99, then just go to our website, the download section, and print off the vignettes, as many as you want. There are single-sided vignettes, there are mirrored vignettes, so you've got left and right, back and front, but there's no charge for them. Sometimes if there are other colourways, there might be a small charge if you want an extra colourway or something like that. But the ones that are designed for the collection when it launches are free if you go to our website, carnationcrafts.co.uk. All right, Laura, I'm going to sort out Facebook and give a few mentions if you're ready for a demo.
Yes.
Fabulous.
So for our first one, I wanted to use that large doily, and we're going to use this to make our card base. Now, this cardstock is the Crafter's Companion. I've got the name of it. It's on our website. It is the Centura Pearls Snow White.
Oh, nice.
So this is what I've used for the card base. So I thought, just with that little bit of shine, it just adds that little bit of attention, drawing your eye in to the background, because this is going to be the matte.
I've got some names now. Maria Crossland, hello to you. Pearl Farrier, hi. Mags Brown, Pauline Thorne, Becca Wilson's there, Jan Bird, Susan Christine Frank, Jenny West, Pauline Thorne, Alison Ward. Oh, Happy New Year to all of you.
Lots of people watching
Yeah,
this
loads,
morning.
loads.
Right,
Big
so
audience this morning.
I've scored, so I've cut out 2 of that larger doily. And then I've just cut a little bit off the bottom just to help support that when it stands up, and I've just scored the top, okay? So that is our card base. So that's going to go on there. And then I've cut out another one, and that's just going to sit on there. So it's just going to cover that gap, but it's still going to help support because I've got that straight line at the back.
Yep. Becca Wilson says, still on the naughty step, starting the new year on the naughty step again. That's what we like to hear, Becca.
Start as you mean to go on.
Jam Bird's confirming third flower is a gerbera. Thank you, Jam.
There you go.
We've got the 3 most useless people with flowers. Taz has admitted she's no good with flowers. You're no good with flowers. I'm not either.
I love the fact Taz admits it, but yet she will dig at me for not knowing the names of these flowers.
They should send us to horticultural college or something like that, so that we know what we're talking about.
There must be so many different names of flowers,
yeah.
that, you know, to be able to actually name them all. And to me, like, a lot of them look quite similar as well, you know, because I don't know that much about flowers. So it's like a flower. No, houseplants, Dave, I will kill in a week. they are dead within a week.
Audrey Brown says this set is stunning. Another must-have. Thank you, Audrey. Absolutely agree with you. Beautiful.
Right. So what I've done next is the next mat that goes with this doily. I've cut out in those perfect papers, which are absolutely stunning. And I've got almost like this teal, like a greeny blue colour. That is going to just sit on there. So I've got that lovely frame now with the mat, with the outside. And then I've got that doily. And this is just absolutely stunning. Now, there are so many other collections you're going to use that for. Even if you just take that doily away and use this on its own, you are going to use this doily with so many collections that you'll have at home already.
Just counting it up, Laura, there's 7 dies in that doily collection alone. There's so much, so many elements that you can use.
You've got so many
independently.
layers. Yeah, and those doilies, what I really like about it, you know, sometimes you can get a doily, and I've done it before where I've bought, you know, something, and it's not the same size as this. I love the fact that I can use that independently as a doily, or I can use it like I'm using it now and make it into a card base. But equally, you have then got the next size down, which again, you can use that as a doily. It is like a perfect size for your mats and layers and things like that. But then you've got your other 2 sizes as well. So you've even got,
Cute.
Your sentiments, even just using them as little backgrounds, little fillers, you've got the next 2 sizes, or you could mat them all up like that. And how stunning does that look?
Yeah, gorgeous.
So you've got so many different options with that. And you've got the mat that will sit behind this one as well to layer on. So if you want to bring that one out to the forefront, you can do that as well.
Sam Smith says, morning everyone, Happy New Year. Watching, sitting on my hands, trying not to bite. Oh, don't do that, Sam. Release the hands. Let them reach for the credit card. That's what they're there for. Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know what I would do? Do you know, if ever I try not to buy something, I can guarantee what always happens to me, it sells out and then I kick myself that I didn't get
I'm
it.
the same. Yeah.
And then 9 times out of 10, I'll end up paying more when it comes back in stock. But because for those weeks of me being, when's it back in stock? When's it back in stock?
The worst one is when you're looking sale shopping for clothes. And it says your size, last few left, and you dilly-dally and you go back there, right, I get it. It says, oh, God.
Yeah, there's nothing worse, is there? And you
there's
kick
one a size
yourself
bigger,
then.
there's one a size smaller, and you think, darn it.
Kick yourself. All right, that is going to sit on there like that.
Oh, Sam Smith's laughing.
And we're going to
I think she's released her hands.
And we're going to pop the next 2 layers in here as well. So I'm just going to pop that one in there. And pop this one in. Now that already looks absolutely stunning. You could quite easily pop a sentiment on there. Where is my sentiment?
It actually looks like lace, doesn't it?
You could easily pop that on there, and that is a stunning card.
It is, yeah.
Just with the sentiment, because you've done those matte and layers. And don't forget, you have got the matte that will fit behind there as well. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go in with our florals. So we're going to go look at that. I absolutely love that. And like I said, print it out with your mirrored vignettes, and you can have it going either way. So if you're doing the card like I'm doing now, you could have them go in both sides and really build it up around your projects. So I'm just going to go in quickly with my fingers and just give this a little bit of shape. And then we're going to add in some pin flower.
Very nice.
And we're going to just build these florals up. So I'll just go in with this. Now I have given them a bit of shape with my finger, so I'm going to go in with pin flare so that I don't squash it back down.
And pin flare, remember, will be on our website. We sell that. We sell the perfect papers, of course. Pro print paper, which is what we recommend for you to print your vignettes onto. That's on our website as well. So while you're there, don't just print off the vignettes and leave it at that. Have a little shop around. There's lots of goodies from Carnation on the website.
Yeah, I always add in, do you know, if I'm doing an order, I'll always add in like my essentials, you know, like glue or perfect paper or my pro print, because I don't want to do an order just for those things. So I always add in those extra little bits when you're placing an order. Right, so like I said, you've got your decoupage elements as well that just sit on there like that. So that's going to go there. So I'm just going to add this in. And then this to me is like the fun bit. This is the bit of crafting that I think we all enjoy, is just going in and having fun placing your florals. So what I do when I first get these and when I'm like building my card up is like I've gone in now and I've glued that down. If I was doing this at home, I wouldn't. I'd get my flowers and just play around with the composition of where do I want these flowers to go? How do I want them to sit? And then you'll just get to a point then when you just keep moving them around and you think, right, okay, that's it. That's where I want them to be.
Yeah.
And then you can just pop them in. So I'm just going to add in my rose. I've done my hydrangea.
Michelle Metcalf is on YouTube. Says, hello, guys. Love this. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Michelle. Yeah, it's our first get-together since the beginning of the year, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, here?
Here, yeah.
Yes, here, yeah. I was going to say, I'm sure I seen you the other day.
That wasn't here.
It wasn't here, yeah. Yeah.
That's in our other place.
Yeah.
Hobby maker, yeah.
All right, and I'm just going to tuck that in there. 'Cause don't forget, you've got all of these decoupage elements. You can really build these florals up equally. You know, depending on what it is that you're going to do with them and how you want the flowers to be, you don't have to put in the decoupage elements either.
Well, I love the fact that you've got the kind of soft, rounded flowers, but then you've got the angular, quite dramatic prongs of flowers as well. So it's a little bit of both. So you can kind of mix them up to get a lovely, even composition.
Yeah, you can. And you've got these like sprig bits. Now these, you can see they've got little pink florals on.
Little buds.
The other ones have got white ones on. So you can mix and match these as well. And like in some of my other demos as we go on, you'll see I actually cut these down as well. So if you don't want them to be this long, if you want them to be like smaller little tuck-ins, you can do that as well. So you can mix and match these up. Now these leaves, they come with the florals. And
but look at the artwork, all the shading and everything.
I know, they're
so professional.
Stunning. And what I like to do with these is, now you can either just tuck that in and it can just tuck in behind the rose. But what I like to do is I'll go in and I'll just snip that leaf off. And then what I'll do is use them separately. So you can cut that out. And then I'm just going to tuck that in there. And then this one, I'm going to tuck in round. I'm going to turn it round so it looks like it's going the right way. And then I'm going to tuck that in there. So you can change those leaves as well. So you can get them going different ways. And then, again, just the fun of these, tucking these ones in. What were these?
Gerbras.
Gerbras.
Mm. Yes. I know my flowers.
I couldn't remember. Gerbras.
Jan Bird told us that, so thank you, Jan.
By tomorrow, I'll have gerbras locked in.
I'll buy you a bunch.
They will be locked in by tomorrow. Right, so that is going to sit about there. So I'm going to just pop this one under there. But this to me is the fun bit.
Where will we be without our pin flare glue gel?
Oh, I know.
I mean, it just gives the whole thing dimension and height.
It does. And you know, I'll be honest with you, I've tried different types of like silicone glue and nothing compares to Pinflower at all. And do you know what? It sounds like such a simple thing, but do you know what the best thing about it is? It's got absolutely no smell.
All right.
Because I've had some... Listen to me
glues
now,
do
okay?
some
of them smell, okay? Like, they smell like... it's just like a chemically smell, isn't it, from the glue? But you don't have any type of smell from these at all. So they're absolutely perfect.
You do have to let it dry for a few hours, but when it dries rock solid. So if it's going in the post, it's, you know, virtually indestructible. Never say never, but...
No, but do you know what, though? I tend to not leave mine set for the entire time. But even after like an hour or two, they've still like hardened enough that you can move them around. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to bang it and it's going to move out of place. Right, so now we're going to go in with our sentiment. And then because I've got so many different layers under this, I'm going to just put a big blob of Pinflower on here. So this is going to sit about there. So I just want to put a little bit there. That's going to go under the sentiment. And then I'm going to put a bigger blob there, because then that's going to even out.
Annie Foxall on YouTube says, Happy New Year to everyone. Trying hard to resist, but I do have the willpower of a demented gnat. That's the comment of the day so far, Annie. You and me both.
Oh my gosh. I have never heard that before. That's brilliant.
The willpower of a demented gnat.
I mean, to be fair, I think I probably have as well. So
I think we're on that camp.
Right, wait there. I've left my...
That's my comment of the day. I love that.
That's brilliant.
I'm going to use that in the future, if that's all right, Annie. Got the willpower of a demented gnat.
Right, so I've cut out Scent with Love. So that's been cut out with the same perfect paper as the matte in the background. So that's going to come in with that. That is going to sit perfectly on there. Let's just move that E up. So that's going to go there like that. And then we've got... Oh. I didn't know where we were going there.
Isn't that lovely? It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
But look at the dimension that you get on the florals, and they just effortlessly work. They are so pretty. You've got so many of those colours in there, and like I said, it's those like calming colours in here. So they're effortless, and they're great. Like we said, like Scent with Love for those get well, those heartwarming. But equally going into spring. Hopefully summertime now.
Well, we're at that kind of time of the year where it's a little bit oppressive. It's a bit dull outside. The weather's not that great, not much light. So to work with these beautiful florals that make you think spring is a bit uplifting, I think, to be honest with you. This is the perfect paper. The Petals and Threads is what the collection's called. Petals and Threads. A third of the entire stock has gone. This is the first of 3 live shows today, and there'll be 3 shows tomorrow as well. The heart of the collection is obviously those doily dies that you can see there. They're absolutely stunning. There's actually, let me just count them again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 7 dies in total just in the doily section alone, just in those. And then you've got all these beautiful florals, of course, and the decoupage elements there as well to make them 3-dimensional. And as Laura quite rightly said, with the vignettes you've got the option of printing single-sided vignettes or mirrored vignettes. So that lovely kind of laurel leaf there curving round, it could go the other way if you wanted it to with the mirrored vignettes. Then down the bottom here, this gives you a better idea as to what these dies are about. When I first looked at them, I thought, oh, what do they do? Well, they can be made for apertures like this, or you can make them risen like the one that I showed you earlier on, which I'll try and find again in a second. So it's just a very simple and very minimal but very effective way of creating a lovely feature in the middle of the card or on the side of a card. You get the straight version and you get the slightly curved version as well. My favourite part of the collection, if I'm honest with you, is this. Because this, we may have seen maybe butterfly dies in the past where the wings lift up but they stay attached to the card. What you've got with this die is the same sort of concept but with leaves. So you can, as we've done with this one, who's done this one? This is Fiona Abbott's done that card. Just lift the leaves up and it just gives you a third dimension, and it shows the perfect paper underneath really beautifully. Or you can use it to tuck flowers underneath if you wish to, like it's giving the card a hug. I think that card, this one here, for example, shows you that, and this one here as well. So it's a concept that we've probably seen before, but not in this way. So those spiky leaves are hugging the roses, which I love, and then this one's using the rounded leaves. You get both of them, and again they're just hugging the edge of the flowers too. So it's almost like it's giving the flower a hug. Love that. And then over here to put your flowers in, you've got of course your pail, you've got the bucket, you've got the teapot, you've got your little vase as well, and the whole thing with those wonderful verses there: sent with happiness, sent with love, and you are wonderful. The whole thing, to start 2025, our brand new collection for 2025 is only $109.99. Now the price at the end of this week will go up to, if we have any left, $124.99. Yeah. So you're saving around about £15 by buying it today. At the end of the week, it will go up to that price, and of course the normal price is a lot more than that anyway. So today you can enjoy ClearPay and PayPal Pay in 3 if you would like to spread the cost. That's options for you. But I know most of you just choose to put it on a debit or credit card and pay in full. That's absolutely fine. But the lovely thing is, our studios here at where our warehouse is, in actual fact, for Carnation, literally next door is where they get your orders from the computer, and they pick it and they pack it. Sometimes you can hear them. If they drop something, you can hear it. But they are literally placing when you place your order, they are literally there, getting it off the shelf, putting it into a parcel and popping it in the post. And our postie arrives normally at 2 o'clock this afternoon to pick up all your orders. You may even be lucky enough to get it tomorrow. That has been known. It depends on your local courier and your local delivery service, obviously, but it will be out today. Quick sticks. Carnation are one of the quickest I've ever known to get your orders out in the post. Barbara Treadwell's done this one.
Because that one's got those tuck-ins.
Okay.
I'm being bossy, sorry Dave.
No, you get in there. Pam Simpson's
Look
done
at
this
that.
one.
So you've got those tuck-in, cut-in leaves going down the sides.
Yeah.
Just in the background. How pretty is
love
that?
that, yeah.
So pretty.
There's always something different with a Carnation launch. Always something different. 250101, your item number. And if you've never shopped with us before, just go to our website, carnationcrafts.co.uk. You can purchase that there. When you've done that, just go to the download section and then free downloads, and then you'll see all the artwork. We call it vignettes because artwork doesn't do it justice. It's got to have a posh name because it's posh artwork. Yeah. So it's vignettes. You can print all the artwork off for the doilies, the flowers, all the elements here completely free of charge.
There's normally like inserts and background papers there as well, so you'll have other things to print out. But it's so nice to be able to just go on there now, print them out ready, and then you literally, maybe your dice will come tomorrow and you've just got everything there ready to go.
I mean, you can spend the afternoon looking at the artwork and admiring it, and then when your dies arrive tomorrow, cut them all out and away you go. You could be making cards with this by the end of tomorrow, possibly.
Yeah, because we normally do, to be fair. We normally, by the end of our shows tomorrow, we normally get somebody say, oh, I've just made my first card. Yeah, which is amazing. Yeah. Right, should we do another demo?
Okay.
So I'm going in with I've got my card base, and I'm going in with those perfect papers again, which are absolutely stunning. They are cardstock base, they're 300 GSM. So if you want to even cut these out with that doily and make this your card base, you can absolutely do that because it has got the weight to support it. So that is just going to sit on there like that.
It's a nice shade of green too, isn't it?
Do you know, I really, really like the colourway in the perfect papers for these.
Me too.
It's just, do you know, especially now, it's like you said, it's dark, it's cold, it's miserable outside. These paper packs, I just think, you know, when you look at them, you just instantly feel that bit happier, that bit warmer. They're just a really, really nice colourway.
And maybe you've just packed all the Christmas decks away and the house is looking a bit, I don't know.
It looks bare.
Exactly.
It does. As soon as you put them away, it's like the house just looks empty. And you're like, it didn't look like this before. What's going on?
Well, this collection will cheer it up.
It will. Definitely cheer you up. Right, so I've got my matte and layer there now with the perfect papers. So I've got that lovely frame now bringing into the card. And then I've got the smaller doily, okay? So I've gone in with the smaller one and I've cut out the matte for this as well. Now this is going to sit about over there. Let me grab, because I've got my teacup. No, teapot.
Teapot. That's a big cup.
And this is going to sit just under it. So I just want to make sure that I'm I've got my doily where I need it to go. So
Angela Assel says hi everyone on Facebook. Yvonne Walker says morning Dave and Laura. Hi Yvonne, happy New Year to all of you. Welcome back after the break. Hope you all had a good time.
Do you know, it's mad. New Year's, like ages ago.
Did you do anything for New Year or not?
No, I was in Hobby Maker, and then I got back. Well, I didn't get back too late, but by the time I got back, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed. Yeah. What about you?
No, I just worked. Yeah. Christmas is special to me.
Yeah, I'd rather.
New Year, I'm not bothered.
Yeah, no, that's me. I'd rather be home for Christmas than New Year. Right, so then I've got my doily, which is going to sit on that layer there. So you've got your layer there to cut those out. And then I've got my teapot. And what I've done with this is, because you've got the snout, isn't it? Spout. That is going I'm full of words today, aren't I? Right, that I've snipped into it. So when I pop the flower on there, so instead of it just sitting there like that, I've cut into it, so it's going to sit like that. So this looks like it's at the forefront.
Oh, Nick and the team are very good. They do give you kind of points where he knows that you're probably wanting to snip. He makes it easy with little cut lines on the dies.
Yeah, I don't know how
everybody does that.
No, and I don't know how they work it out, but they put the cut lines in there. So obviously when you cut them out and you just cut it out like this, and if you just using it like that, those cut lines add to the detail.
Yeah,
because you've got the vignette.
Easier to sculpt if you want to make something done.
Yeah, and then what they do is the cut lines also go in the right direction of how you'd want to sculpt them.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how they work out, how to do that, but it is amazing. I think we've all been there when you get something like that, like if I just grab this, so something like that, and you try going in with your ball tool, and you end up creasing it because it just folds not the way you want it to fold. The cut lines in here have been designed to go the way that you want to score it, which is amazing.
It guides the paper as to do what you want it to do.
Right, so that is now going to sit on there. So I'm just going to go in.
Well, actually, that'll be a good thing to do. When you get your dies home, or if you've got any Carnation Craft dies at home at the moment, if you've got dies from other brands, have a look and compare. Turn them over and look and see how much detail there is in the Carnation die and how little detail there is in maybe another die, and you'll see the difference, the Carnation difference.
Yeah, you really, really do. And it's especially when you go in and you want to do things like this, like the snippability, I always say, like, look at them and think of how you can snip into them and use them in different ways, because there's so many different ways that you can go in and use them. Now I'm just putting the decoupage bits on there, and then this is just gonna just put a little bit on that side. This is just gonna tuck in there like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got that there. And then this bit is just going to go on top. But how fun is it just to sit there like this and just go in and add in all these elements.
And all that artwork for the decoupage pieces will be on the website as well, totally free to print off.
And you know what, that's the nice thing. You don't have to look at these dies and think, oh, I really like that, but I'm not the best colorist. I don't have alcohol pens, or, you know, I don't know how to do watercoloring effects or anything like that. You know, it's all there for you. So if you are somebody that makes and sells, you know, you don't have to think of, oh, well, you know, I'm never going to be able to get the, you know, to charge the time that I'm actually going to spend colouring these in.
No. I mean, I'm not saying that Carnation's the only one to give you free artwork, but I don't know of anyone else that does. But the fact that it is so professionally done and your cards are looking so professional, that's what draws people to your stall if you're selling your cards, and that's what really impresses people when you give them their cards. It looks just perfect. It looks like you are the artist, as it were. And Nick and the team give you permission to sell what you make if you want to, which I think is really generous. I mean, what artist do you know gives away their artwork?
No, that's it. It is, they're so generous, and the fact that it is a download, so you can just download it and you can print them off as many times as you need. So, you know, I mean, I used to go to craft fairs and make and sell my makes, and there was nothing more frustrating than somebody would come up to me and say, oh, I seen this card that you posted on your Facebook page or your Instagram. I want that card. And I'd look at it and I'd think, oh, well, you can't because it was from a paper kit.
Yeah.
Or you can't because I had the bit that I've die cut from it was in a paper pad and I only had one of them, so I can't do it. You know, you can always replicate what you were going to do.
And also, I think this collection as well is suitable for every occasion, for every need that you want to make a card for. Happy, sad occasions, it's covered all with this. You know, it's a collection you'll use time and time again, no matter what the season is, no matter what the occasion might be, anniversaries, birthdays.
No, it just it covers everything, doesn't it? And you could easily look at this of adding other things into it as well. So if you think of other collections that you've got at home already, you know, you could quite easily bring in other things in with a doily and with these florals. There's so many different ways that you could bring different wordings into this as well. So I'm just going to pop in the With Love on this. So I've got the same mat cut out from the same perfect papers as I've done with the background. And then I'm just going to pop, so I've cut out the Scent with Love and I've just cut that out in white. So that's just going to sit perfectly. I absolutely love these sentiments.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. And you get the mat for them as well.
Yeah, so you don't have to think about absolutely anything. And I love the fact that they're big enough that you could use these. Do you know, if you want to make a card like the one I did with the last one, where I just put the sentiment on there just to show you, you don't even need to go in, oh no, and add that much in there. You could just add in the sentiment and it just works perfectly. So I've got that there like that, and then the last thing I'm going to do is I've got the top bit, and that is just going to sit there like that as if I've like taken it off.
Yeah, it's a nice touch. Like a little hat for the sentiment.
That is just going to sit there like that.
Isn't that beautiful? There it is. It's beautiful. It is Petals and Threads. That's our first collection of 2025 and it's launching today. This is the launch show. Can I just quickly remind you though about the perfect papers? It is cardstock. It's 48 300 GSM sheets, and look at the colorways you've got there. Now, if I just fan these out a little bit so you can see, and if I just grab, let's just grab this card here that's got quite a bit going on with the flowers. Look, all the colors in that artwork are complemented by the perfect papers. A third of them are block colour, a third have got like flourishes, and another third have got a slightly different pattern on them as well, but the patterns are quite subtle.
Yeah, you get 6 colourways, so in each colourway you're going to get 2 of the solid colours, then you've got one that's got like a slight floral theme in it, and then the other one has got like swirls in. So they are subtle colours, patterns, so they're not too like in your face. They work perfectly with your mats and layers or cutting out with those sentiments as well.
Adding that to your order is only £14.99. And remember, if you're going for the main collection today, that is delivered free of P&P if you're in the UK. If you're in America, the P&P is only £4.95, which to ship this to the USA is a bargain, believe me. Now, the main collection, we have an update for you. 35% of the entire stock has gone, and it's only quarter to 11 on Tuesday. There's 3 shows today, another one at 12 and another one at 2. But this is what it's all about. This is what your petals and threads are all about. So you've got that centerpiece, which is the doily. 7 dies in that. You've then got, I think I'm right in calling that a laurel leaf, I may be wrong, but certainly you've got that beautiful kind of curved foliage which can go either to the left or to the right.
You're showing off and I'm trying to name the leaves as well.
I'm probably totally wrong. You've got the roses, you've got the hydrangeas, and you've got your gerberas down there as well, and the decoupage elements to make them 3D, all of that. Then the bottom shelf, you've got over here things that you can of course put your flowers in. You've got the bucket or the pail, you've got your little vase there as well, and you've got the teapot with the teapot lid. Next to that, this is your elongated apertures. Now you can make these 3-dimensional and raised, or you can have them recessed in. So this is using them as a recessed aperture, which I think is really lovely. Very sleek and very simple, but very stylish at the same time. So you get those, they're really different. Over here, my favourite part of the whole collection, I think, to be honest with you, is the proud leaves. They're called proud leaves because basically they stand up, but they are attached to the main cardstock. So if I just dip that into the shot there, you can see that's the slightly pointed leaves, but because they're attached, you can lift them and you can tuck things underneath them, like that rose underneath the leaf, which is rather lovely. And then the other one, which is like a laurel leaf, that's the kind of rounded leaf. But again, that's just lifted and raised, and it's like you're giving the flower a hug. That's the way I like to think of it. And you get both of those in there. And then the sentiments that Laura loves so much is just here. Sent with happiness, sent with love, and you are wonderful. Those sentiments included too. The whole thing delivered free of P&P in the UK, just £4.95 P&P if you're in the USA, and it's £109.99, saving you £15 off what the price will be later in the week. Everyone gets the benefit of that extra discount, and you can spread the cost with ClearPay or PayPal Pay in 3 if you'd like to. 250101. You place your order on our website now. It's picked, it's packed, it's posted by probably 2 o'clock this afternoon. It will be in the post to you. You might even get it tomorrow. But the vignettes, remember, the artwork, they're there for you to enjoy and print off right now. When you go to carnationcrafts.co.uk, go to downloads, free downloads, and then you're looking for Petals and Threads, and then the artwork's there. All right, Laura, one more demo.
So for this one, I'm using that same Centura pearl, but this one I think is called green gold. There's 2 different golds we've got on the website. Even though this one's called green gold, this to me is like an antique gold, and then the other one's more of a this is more of a, the other one's more of a, like a yellowy gold. Right. I'll show them to you later so you can see the difference. But so I've got a sheet of this that is going to be our layer for the back of our card. And then I'm going in with the perfect papers, and then for this one, because you've got lovely like creamy colours, so that's why I've gone for the gold, because I thought, oh, cream and gold. Nice. And this has got that ever so subtle floral design on it, so it is really subtle, and the design on this and the swirl are in white, so it's always going to work in with what projects you're doing.
From a distance, I'm stood about 2 feet away from you. You can see it's there, but it's incredibly, it's almost like a watermark.
Yeah, it is very, very subtle. Obviously, the darker the colour of the cardstock, it's going to stand out more. So if you're going in with like a darker green, then it is going to stand out more just because of the colourways, but they are very nice. And it's just a generic pattern as well, so it's going to work with whatever project you put with it. Right, before I stick that down, I've got the same one here, so the same pattern that's going to fit on there, and I need to cut this down first, so let's just pop some tape on the back here.
And things like your double-sided tape that we're using, scissors, all the tools that Laura's using. If you're in need of any of that, don't think of going anywhere else, just go to Carnation's website and you'll find it all there. Yeah,
and it's so nice just to order everything in one go, and especially if you are getting the collection, obviously you've got free postage anyway, so
exactly.
That's when I make, take advantage and pop all those bits in that you might need, or you might need to stock up on after Christmas. That is just going to sit on there.
It's probably after Christmas, when you've done all the tidying up and the clearing away and putting everything back in the loft, that you suddenly realise, oh, I haven't got that, I've run out of this, I've run out of something.
And especially over Christmas, I think a lot of people make the most cards that they make over Christmas time, because obviously if you make and sell, or you're making cards to give to people, so it's probably now is the time where you think, all right, okay, I need my pro print, I need this, I need that. So that is now going to just sit on there like that.
Oh, Jacqueline Ward says it looks like eucalyptus, what I was calling a laurel leaf. I think you're right, actually, Jacqueline.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, eucalyptus, you're right. I stand corrected. Thank you. I'm going to stop guessing anymore because I'm usually wrong.
I love the fact Dave just went straight in with, yep, you're right, I'm right. I'm not even going to question it. Right, so we're going to pop this doily in. So this is that centre doily that you could use. And then this is going to go on there like that. Mm-hmm. So we've got that. I've just realised I used that in the last time. I should have grabbed a different one. Right, so you've got our rose. So you can see now you've got 3 layers to build that rose up with. And that is just going to sit there like that. So we'll add in.
Do you always print out double-sided, or do you sometimes do single-sided?
I'll be honest with you, the team here will send me a lot of these cut ready for me to do my demos.
And they always do
which
double-sided.
is a lifesaver for me, yeah, and they do tend to do them double-sided. Now, if I was doing it at home, I would probably cut out double-sided to start off with. And then, to be fair, what I do normally, and this is what I used to do when I was on the design team, is I would just print out one of everything. So you're going to get the single-sided and the mirrored printout. And then I'd cut out all of those, and then I'd print out what I needed. Because sometimes, like if I pop things down like this, I only need the single-sided because I'm decoupaging them up and I'm doing it like this. But then equally, I might turn that round so I get the leaves going in a different direction. So I would say just print out everything and then have a look at it and decide, you know, what it is that you want to do with it, because you might not need to, but then equally, I mean, you're not using that much ink printing out another one. So.
No, not at all. Michelle Metcalf on YouTube says the doilies and all the white flowers and the eucalyptus are very sympathetic. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it's it could be for a sympathy card, absolutely, but they are very subtle. They're not in your face at all. So thank you for that.
I'm just adding.
Yvonne Walker, morning to you. She says, morning, Dave and Laura. Lots of you on Facebook and YouTube this morning for our first show of the year.
It sounds so strange when you say first show of the year.
Yeah.
It just sounds so strange. It's when it's like close to New Year's and people say, I'll see you next year. And you're like, what? Oh. Yeah. It just sounds like such a strange thing, doesn't it? Like next year. Right, so we're going in with our gerbera. I was just about to say, it's in my head now. I'm going to pop that in there, and then I'm going to add the decoupage bits on there. And things like this as well, you know, depending on what it is you're going to do with it. You might not want to add in the decoupage. You might want to leave those off and keep them for a different project if you're putting loads of different florals in. But then also, depending on what type of project you're doing, you might want to add all of the decoupage in and make them really look really 3D. So it's just nice to have so many different options, you know, when you're doing it. So like that one, I've already added in with foam pads, so you can really see the different layers that you're going to get in there. So I've already done that one just for a bit of speed. Yeah, although we're using normally 3D glue gel, the pin flare, you can use foam pads if you want to for the decoupage, obviously. It's up to you. Yeah, you can just go in and, you know, just have fun with them and play around with them. I mean, you could even add other bits into them as well. It just all depends on what it is that you're going to do with them. And then I'm just going to tuck those leaves in there. And I've got my other leaf. So like I showed you just now, where you can go in and cut these leaves down so you can place them exactly where you want them to be. And I'm going to just tuck that one under there. Just to so dimensional, so beautiful. This stuff just, and do you know what? Just making a card like this is just effortless. Like, I'd love to stand here and be like, look at this pretty card that I've made. I'm so clever, but it's not. Like, the dies just do everything for you. It is just absolutely effortless. You've done the composition, so you put it all together. But you know what? You do not have to think about it. Do you know the way that Nick and the team design these dies? Like, I always say with Carnation, when you look at a die and you look at the artwork, everything's got movement. Like, nothing looks flat. No. It's got movement. So when you're doing something like this, because I think we've all been there before when we've bought die kits, or you have a die at home and you try doing something like this and you look at it and you just, it doesn't look wrong, but there's something that doesn't feel right. You look at it and you think, there's something not right about it. I can guarantee you it's because there's no movement in it, so it just looks flat. Yeah. So when you try and put other things together, it all just looks flat. Whereas Carnation, the way that they design, nothing looks flat. So it doesn't matter what you put with there. And that's one of the things of why we always say how Carnation will always work with other collections of Carnation, it's just one big collection because everything's the same, so everything just works effortlessly.
An awful lot of thought goes into dimension and shape, and you've got angular and dramatic, you've also got rounded and soft, and the combination of the two together allows you to compose a really a well-rounded composition. It looks perfect, but you've got the dimension of the decoupage, you've got the beautiful artwork and the colouring, which is spectacular, and it's all for that brilliant price.
So I'm just adding my sentiment. Now this sentiment, you're not even going to be able to tell, but I've cut that out with the same floral pattern as the background, but because that pattern is so subtle, you can barely even see it. So even for your sentiments, which normally I wouldn't cut a, you know, with that, like, because that Scent with Love is quite thin,
Yeah.
I wouldn't cut out a patterned cardstock because it will kind of like interfere with the writing. So I would have maybe stayed away from cutting out with a patterned cardstock with that, but you don't have to because it just works really, really well. And then I'm going to add pin flare on the back of this one instead of foam pads because I've got different layers.
And what could that be a card for? Anything. Absolutely any occasion. Happy or sad. Yep, Valentine's Day is on the way soon. What, about four weeks away? 5 weeks away. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? You cannot make a bad card when it comes to Carnation, because the USP with Carnation is you buy the dies and you get a great deal with them as well, £109.99 down from £125. So under £110 with free P&P. And Carnation's way of saying thank you is to give you the artwork for all of these dies free. We call them vignettes. So the vignettes for all the collections are always on Carnation Crafts website, carnationcrafts.co.uk, which you are probably there already purchasing this. While you're there after you've bought them, just go to downloads, then click on free downloads, and then search for the name of the collection, which of course is Petals and Threads. And it will probably be the first collection you see, actually, because the newest collections are always on the top of the artwork. So, and then print all of these off. You've even got artwork for the doilies, which is incredible, albeit very subtle. And then the artwork for everything else is there for you to print off again and again and again. When your dies arrive, hopefully tomorrow or the day after, you can start cutting them out. And remember, you are in really good company with Carnation. They hold your hand every step of the way. There's this fantastic community on Facebook and YouTube that you can watch these shows again and again and again. You can share your makes with people on Facebook as well if you want to as well, what you've done. But if I just show you some of these amazing cards here, this is like the yin and the yang, the positive and the negative of the aperture dies that you can see there. Because when I first saw them, I thought, oh, how do I use those? Well, this one is of course raised up, so making it very dimensional, and this one is using it as an aperture, so you've got the positive and the negative with those dies just there. Really different, those. You'll find lots of ways of using those. You've then got your proud leaves, so these are the leaves that stay attached to the cardstock, but when you lift them, they stay raised and they almost like give a hug to the flowers. Again, I think I've got another card somewhere that's got those used to great effect. I've got quite a few here. Oh, here it is. So here you've got a panel either side. So those leaves aren't hugging anything in this instance, but you've got a strip where the leaves have risen slightly, which makes a lovely border either side of the doily. So that's those just there. You've got wonderful sentiments, sent with happiness, sent with love, and you are wonderful. And then over here, obviously you've got the vessels to put your flowers in. So you've got the bucket, you've got the teapot, and you've also got the vase there as well. 250101 is your item number. Remember, there are 3 shows today. The next one's going to be at 12 o'clock midday in an hour's time. So make sure if you just get in the tail end of this show that you tune in at 12 o'clock. Order in between shows if you'd like to, and come back and watch the rest of the demonstrations with Laura at 12 and 2 this afternoon too. But if you would like to go for it, you know what to do. Go to carnationcrafts.co.uk. That's the website, and we'll see you back at 12 with more demos.
We will.
Happy shopping, and go and grab a cuppa. We'll see you in an hour.